Hey, Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and puns make me numb, but math puns make me number. Alongside me is Ali DePina, and if he was a frog, he would wear open-toed sandals. Joining us this week is Caleb Joyner, and one time, Caleb ate $100 bill. I guess you could say he has expensive taste. Welcome to episode 57 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. Episode 57 is the Prime Ape episode. Famous players that wear the number 57. We got Ricky Jackson, we got Steve Howie, and this is 57, the Heinz Ketchup Edition, Heinz 57. Famous Red Sox players or Red Sox players that I like that wear the number 57. Manny Del Carmen, and currently we have Greg Weissert on the roster wearing 57. For the Mariners, longtime Mariner Mark Lowe. For the Sabres, we had Brett Murray. And Ollie, you want to hit us with the Kraken and the Giants?
For the Kraken, we have absolutely nobody. And then for the Giants, we have a few guys that I'd like to mention from some different eras, I'd say. First, we'll go in the 80s. We have Byron Hunt, played in 81 to 88. And then in the 90s, from 91 to 97, Corey Miller. And then from 2005 to 2010, Chase Blackburn. Chase Blackburn's the most notable for me that I know and was kind of alive for and watching. But those other two guys were legends nonetheless. Kind of a cool number, honestly, for guys that haven't been retired. You know, like legends in their own right, but not necessarily legends to get their number retired, where you can kind of have some good players wear 57. It's pretty cool.
Sure. Yeah, Manny Del Carmen is same situation as last week with Craig Hansen, where he was another reliever for the Red Sox that for years I thought was going to be like the next big thing, and I was so sold that Manny Del Carmen was going to be a big part of the Red Sox for years to come, and another guy that just never panned out kind of thing. But I spent years of my teenage childhood being like, oh man, like can't wait to see him make it to the major leagues and that kind of thing. So
I sent you a video on Instagram of a Red Sox pitcher wearing number
oh yeah.
57. Yeah.
Eduardo Rodriguez. That was a super funny clip. Yeah, because like not only was Puig like
Shaking butt.
twerking mid at bat, but he like pimped a homer off of him, and like his reaction to it, where he takes off his glove and slams it on there. It was so funny. It
It
was
kind
like
of is
so
the
like
only right reaction to getting twerked on and then pimped a home run, too.
it was just super authentic. It was like one of those like you can't blame him for that. Like oh man, like that sucks. So Ollie, how you doing, man? How's everything going?
It is going well. Been a pretty chill week. Got out and played a couple different rounds, a couple different places. Helped my friend out with a little film thing. So I don't know if you saw my story. I was doing some acting, some film stuff. That was pretty fun. I'll send you some clips that are pretty funny. Where basically there's this one clip he showed me first, basically of I get water splashed in my face, and it's on this like super nice camera, and you can see it on the monitor, and so it was pretty fun. Kind of a one take thing too, because we filmed the whole thing. I'm wearing all the clothes, and then it's like, whew, but it was pretty fun, honestly. It's definitely something I've never done before, but I kind of just at a point where it's pretty fun putting myself out there and doing these different things where it's like, how would I know if I don't like it, or why would I say no to that? So that was really
Sure.
fun and something new, and yeah, it's been a good week.
That's cool, man. Good for you. Caleb, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us this week.
Doing pretty good. Just hanging out at home, waiting to head to Shelton
When you heading out?
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning? Okay, so you're gonna get probably like a practice run in on Thursday, maybe two, and then set up Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you seen the new layout at all?
I played it the Friday before Top Dog. I
Okay.
went out there, and I mean most of the holes I've already played a few times, but I've definitely paid attention to the newer tee pads and the brand new holes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do a deep dive into that later, for sure, because I went out there yesterday morning and played around, and they had all like the OBs and that kind of marked. So
Hmm.
I have some opinions. I mean, it's all like you're saying, there's a lot of the holes we've already kind of seen and played before. So you're on a nice little hot streak, man. Back to back wins. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
I don't know. If you keep playing, you'll end up maybe winning or playing good once at least.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure, dude. I mean you're out here every week, it's people that know you know that you're out there grinding like week in and week out. You have to travel more to get to these tournaments than a lot of us too, because you are coming from Yakima, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, the dedication that you have to it, honestly, and everybody's kind of known of you for a while, and I think everybody has kind of had it in the back of their mind, like it's only a matter of time before everything kind of clicks for a guy like that, and it's clicking for you now, which is awesome, dude. So, again, congratulations. We're all, obviously, all of us here at ECD are super pumped, to have you on the team and to see all your successes and that kind of thing. So, again, man, congratulations.
Thank you. I've
Yeah.
I had like a whole bunch of tournaments in a row before these last two, and I cashed at them, but like I've won a few already, so I know what it's like to win or what it feels like, and like I'm happy shooting over my rating. I'm happy cashing, but at the end of the day, I like being competitive, and I felt like I have been these past 10 or 9 tournaments I played in a row. Maybe
Hmm.
not first place type stuff, but in the hunt at least at some point during the tournament, which has felt very nice. And I've gone clear to new places like Sisters, Oregon. I think that was 3 or 4 weekends ago. That was pretty sweet. First time I cashed at a beach here in Oregon,
Okay.
so that was
That's
pretty
cool.
awesome.
Where was that? What course was it?
Black Butte Ranch. It was I would guess a private ball golf course or maybe a very fancy public course, but
Okay.
it was very pretty. Like it was at the bottom of these. I guess the mountains were called Sisters. It looked fake. I played video games that looked more real than this place I went to in real life.
Hmm. That's really cool, man. That's one of the things I talk a lot about, like disc golf with people that come into the store. Is like there's some times where like you bring yourself to places that like you have almost no business being there, both on like the good
Yeah.
side and on the weird side, like you're on this like pristine golf course and you're like, dude, I'm just a guy who like throws frisbees and like hangs out. You know what I mean? Like to
Hmm.
be out there and see these like beautiful views and being like, oh yeah, I'm like meant to be here and I'm actually like succeeding in this environment is like a really crazy thing. And then on the other side of that too, I mean, how many like podunk dirt roads have you driven down looking for like a course, right? That you're like, there's definitely nothing here, and then you see a basket in the trees, and you're like, oh shit, I'm close. Oh shit, like.
Yeah.
So yeah, disc golf is just such it's an interesting game because yeah, you get both sides of the coin like that, where you could be at a place like Glendevere or like the Black Beauty place down in Oregon, where it's so pristine, and then also yeah, just like in the middle of absolutely nowhere kind of thing. So
Crystal Mountain.
Crystal Mountain's another
Yeah.
example, dude. Yeah, like you're at the top of a mountain and with a bag of frisbees.
Yeah.
Like like that's wild. Yeah. How's your brother Josh doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
He's been doing pretty good. He's been really into the trading or trade cards or trading cards thing,
Sure.
like soccer players and Pokemon. I'm guessing, but
Okay.
Nice.
He's
he's
doing like soccer trading cards. That's like I don't know if I've heard of anybody doing that necessarily.
he
Dude,
shows me these cards and tells me they're worth some sort of money, and I'm like, that's awesome for you, dog. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand it, but cool.
all these sports cards are getting crazy. Like all sports I saw, I mean, even disc golf has some sports cards. I know like Adam
Mhm.
Hammis is super into that with like getting the like jersey relics and stuff like that. Where some of these soccer stars, anywhere there's money and there's sports and there's fans, there's going to be people that want and covet those things. I was looking at getting some Formula One cards as well and stuff too. So that's I understand that part of it where you want to get the autographs and those things like that. Bumps it up.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. That's interesting. I didn't know he was into that. I just
I
remember
didn't
like
either.
That's
yeah,
cool.
I just remember like when you and him would kind of like roll up to the tournaments together, and I would end up
Yep.
kind of like mixing it up with him a lot just because he and I would play on similar cards. And I don't know, I've always really liked your brother. Tell him to get back out to more tournaments and that. I miss seeing him around and that kind of thing. So
I
yeah,
will.
yeah. Tell him I said what's up. Um, all right. So Caleb, while we have you here. One thing that I've always said about you, is that you've got to be one of the best putters in Washington State. You one of the few people that if you're inside of the circle, I'm pretty much just saying bang, like he's gonna nail this putt. It's I almost just chalk him up as routine for yourself. So I want to ask you about like your putting routine, and kind of like what's going through your head like while you're putting, and like I guess like my ultimate question is why are you so damn good at putting, man? Like what's up with that?
Well, that question's probably the easiest one to answer. Is like I have practiced countless hours for the past 8 years of the past 8 years of my life. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, I never really got into video games. I don't want to go run around a track or go hike. So I just started putting. I was like, this is fun, and I'm practicing. And then it just ended up being fun. But that I think is just I put in more hours than I'll be able to ever put together or whatever.
Okay,
I'm
well
not
let's
getting that part of my life back.
sure, right. You're like that's been committed to that.
Yep.
Um so what is like an average day of like putting practice look like with Caleb Joyner? Like how many putters do you have? Like how far away are you putting? How many putts do you think you're throwing on average per day? If you're having a good day and you're throwing a lot, if you're having a light day, you're only throwing a few. Like run us through like a typical day. Like I am genuinely curious myself because I am working I feel like I'm constantly like working on my putt, and like I feel like this would be honestly kind of beneficial for me. So yeah, what does an average day look like for Caleb Joyner?
At least putting wise. Well, it also depends. Like if it's really windy outside, it's really hard to work on consistency when, the wind is doing something different every time you're putting.
Hmm.
So, but like I'll put in my kitchen slash living room or whatever. It's like 30 feet maybe,
Okay.
but that's just like trying to see the disc do the same thing uh, constantly or consistently.
Hmm.
But I try to put outside as much as I can because I don't ever get to play a disc golf tournament inside.
Sure,
But
sure, yeah.
Not
and I
yet.
really don't keep track super like nerdy with the numbers. I don't know. It's a very I can see how far the basket is away. I can tell how much I have to put on it or whatever.
Hmm.
But like I definitely start at like 10 feet. That's just to make sure I didn't forget how to putt, and then slowly work back. And I'm not really counting. It's just until it feels consistently going in at the same spot or whatever.
Hmm.
I can slop a whole bunch of putts all over the basket in, but at the end of the day, I want it to be in the middle or whatever in the
Hitting the
sweet
same
spot.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How many
But
putters do you have like in a stack? Like do you have like a box of like 50, or do you just have like no, I have like my stack of like 5 and I just rock that all the time? Like
I
what does that look like?
at the moment I only have four P2Xs, but I mean I don't got huge hands and I don't want to like have to bend over every time to pick up a putter. But I think four is a good number.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna accumulate more as the days go by. But they stay really overstable. Like usually I have to replace my putter already, and I'm still rocking the ones that I first got this year.
Okay. And you said you're putting with the P2X?
Yeah,
That's the Flex 2?
I got the Flex threes.
Flex 3s. Oh, a little
Yeah.
stiffer. So Caleb, when you are setting up for we'll say like a 25, 30 edge of circle style putt, what kind of like what angle are you throwing the putt on, and what is that sweet spot that you're trying to hit, and what I guess not only what is the sweet spot but you're trying to hit, but what is your aim point as well?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say because like I believe you should have a stock putt, right?
Hmm.
But most of the time, every 25, if you play 18 holes, you'll have 18 different putts, even though if there's nothing in the way, if that makes sense,
Hmm.
like uphill or downhill. But in general, I try to putt. slightly nose down on some hyzer, and I'm looking like barely right of the pole in the middle of it. Most
Okay.
of the time, I'm looking just at the pole because I'm blind as a bat and can't see a link from 25 feet away. But it's it's very up and down. It's not very spinny.
Okay.
But I also believe that you shouldn't be a push putter or a spin putter. You should just be a putter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like hanging out with Kenny, I've definitely learned to do both.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got tired of losing games to 7 because he'll just put me in a bush or under a low ceiling, and I'm like, I just can't make it, Kenny. He's like, well, figure it out. And after many hours and many games, I've learned you need both at all times. But
Mm-hmm.
the stock putt is normally slightly hyzer, more up and down instead of spinning it, because I don't want to have to putt from 80 feet because I missed the first putt. That's
Sure.
another
Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
why I think of more up and down.
Mm.
But I basically tell my friends, like, think of it like cornhole,
Yeah.
but with
Okay.
the other
Yeah.
foot
Just a little
forward.
kind of flick up. Okay.
Yeah.
How do I want to ask this? As you get further away, does your aim point then jump up? Like if you get to like 35, 40, are you aiming for like the top of the basket? Do you start aiming for the flag, assuming you're going to start to drop into it? How does that work as you get further and further away?
I mean, most generally from even like circle two's edge, I'm still looking at the middle of the basket, but realize it's going to take slightly either more spin or more height. But usually I just change my putter the farther away I get and aim the same kind of. Like if
Okay.
I'm really far away, my P2X is never going to get there. So
It's
I'll
too
do the
understandable.
pitch or like a P2. But I generally try to look at the center of the basket the whole time or the chains. But I don't really try to like look above the basket or
Mm-hmm.
like a headwind. I have to look at the cage and I'm generally looking at the middle and just changing everything physically, if that makes sense, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
I've seen you at so many tournaments just hit those longer putts where you're like walking it in from like a distance, and you kind of have that swag to you with when you're hitting those long putts. And I see it so often. It's so like iconic in a way. Yeah.
Kirby
What's
said
your
that the first time he ever met me.
Yeah, dude, it's so I'm like watching it, I'm like, oh my gosh. What's your like mindset mentality? Like, I'm sure like kind of talking about aim points and stuff like that, but like do you go through any like mental like kind of like confidence things, or like kind of like what are you saying to yourself before a big putt like that?
I mean, I guess there's a few things. It also depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never one of those guys who's going to be like, oh my gosh, like for the win, dude. Like you better make this or the world's going to explode. Like I don't ever think like that because let's be real, we're throwing plastic frisbees in the trees at Mel Basket. Like this is not world-ending stuff. But I don't know. Usually, I either try to shut my mind off completely and just be as robotic as possible. I've noticed people who putt better are kind of like that, at least when they're playing. Like they are real people when you're hanging out, but
Yeah.
someone I think of is like Crabtree. I thought he was an absolute jerk when I met him, but it was in the middle of a round and he was focused. I got to hang out with him after. I was like, he's cool. He smiles and laughs and talks. But I just try to not think about it too much. And then I try to think of sometimes funny things like, I can hear Kenny now. There's no way you can miss this right. Or I don't try to be too stressed about it, if that makes sense, or
Yeah,
critical.
totally.
Do you have like a checklist that you go through before you even hit maybe like a 30 footer or something like that? Okay, like arm here, hand here, got to make sure my foot's pointed this way. Do you have anything like that?
The number one thing I think about is make sure my foot's like an inch or two behind my mini, because
Okay.
I don't want no
Sure.
bull
Yep.
crap or whatever. And I
Yep.
don't want
Hmm.
no foot fault on a putt.
Protect your own peace.
But
I see that. Yep.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I think that's kind of valid for like I think just kind of a smart thing for like anybody to do. Just play it like a touch safer. You're already getting the disc length, 2 inches or an inch and a half in front of your mini. Like you don't have to be pressed up against it. So I
no.
mean that totally. I totally
I only
second.
say that because I've seen people like step on their mini as they're putting, and I'm like, I mean, I'm not that guy. Like, you didn't. I will say something if you are blatantly in front of your mini.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm like, that's a little
Yeah.
sus. But I'm not gonna be the guy like, hey man, like you stepped on your mini. No, no, no. I'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, just so you know, this happened. I ain't gonna say nothing, but just think about it. Next time you go
Hmm.
up to putt or throw.
Yeah.
But definitely foot behind the mini. I usually try to like use the most right side of the box, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
or paper,
Yeah, for sure. You're just kind of
like
like a little like offset kind of, I guess if I don't know how this
on the
is.
right side of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
disc. Or yes, I
Yeah.
put. I don't know if that's the secret sauce or whatever. It's
Hmm.
just comfortable for me. But
Sure. I
there's
mean, you
that,
see,
and then
you hear all the time about starting pitchers how they moved a little bit to the third base side of the rubber or to the first base side of the rubber on the pitching mound, and that couple of inches like dramatically helped the way they approached the plate and that kind of thing. So maybe going from that side is just a comfort thing for you, which is like totally valid. So that's cool. I mean,
I,
that's interesting to kind of think about and hear though.
I usually when I'm putting good, but I'm missing, if that makes sense. It's usually just right. And so I figure if I start on the most right side and kind of not completely turn my shoulders all the way around to the basket, but kind of close them off,
Hmm.
instead of airballing right barely or whatever, it will just be right of the chains.
More centered.
Yeah,
Interesting. That's
but
you should do Caleb. I think at some point it would be really interesting if you did like a YouTube video just talking about putting and that kind of things. This has been a really good combo about it, and I think it's been really interesting. So
Yeah, I'm about
I
ready to walk out of here and do some putting practice and implement some stuff. Like I'm like
yeah.
already thinking like, yeah, scratch the plans I had. I'm gonna go putt for the next like 2 hours before work.
um no, that's yeah, that's awesome, dude. Thanks. I mean, thank you so much, Caleb, for all of that, dude. It's going to be really beneficial. I mean, not only to me, but I think to a lot of people. So
I mean, you can always ask me when you see me. I'm more than happy to talk about it.
for sure. Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate that. Um, all right, let's get right into the event this past weekend that we have the MPO champion here with us. This was the Tweeds event. It was called Twin Peaks: The Return, served up by Tweeds Cafe. This was ran by us here at Emerald City Discs. The layout was designed by Max Spears, and I heard nothing but positive things about the layout. People seem to really enjoy it. Caleb, what did you think of what did you think of the alternate layout to South Fork?
I liked it. The only things I could ever think about it was like very nitpicky, I guess.
Hmm.
And like you can't please everybody or have everything perfect, but like I thought 5 was a little meh
Sure.
because like we were from the shorter pad and the Mando left or whatever. But
Mm.
I mean, we all have to play it, so I'm never gonna be like this is dumb or whatever. And then I was kind of sad about. I don't know what the hole. I'm gonna just tell you the regular hole number. I don't know what hole it was, but
Sure.
17 was kind of in like a pit of soft dirt and straw and such, and like that kind of sucked. But I
Okay.
like the holes themselves.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
that was very little nitpicky kind of stuff.
Yeah. No. I mean, I mean, all totally valid. I heard a couple. That was probably the one hole that I heard people being like, "Not my favorite." Was hole 5. Um, Personally, I did like 5 because I thought it was a pretty interesting, like, hyzer flip slash, like, overstable kind of like flex shot if you hit it right.
Yeah.
It did kind of allow for that like wide outside turnover too, or like a roller out there. I don't think anybody was really even trying that, but um, that was probably the one that I did here was probably like people's like least favorite hole. And that was just Max and I wanting to mix up that like wide open space and that kind of thing. But all that's totally valid for sure. We had really great weather this weekend, so that was really awesome. Both rounds, I mean, it was mildly breezy at one point, but it really didn't like rain or anything like that. Like
We were on
it
our
was,
last hole of the day when it was barely raining.
yeah, like sprinkle. There's a few raindrops, so it really wasn't anything. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I do think that this will be the base for the Mountain View Challenge. Um, even before we were talking, like people were kind of saying, like, 5, how 5 wasn't their favorite. I had already kind of thought about not using hole 5. The biggest change that I think I want to do for the Mountain View from this tournament is I think I want to go from hole 4's tee pad, go through the triple Mando, and then go to hole 6's basket as a par 4, and just have it be like a pretty short par 4. It basically cuts through all of 5's fairway right there, so it would make 5 like unplayable essentially. So I'm thinking about it. Hole 4 has definitely been one. I know, like Caleb, you sent me a message last week, talking about like maybe adding like an OB line,
Yeah.
behind hole 4's basket or something like that, kind of making it like tighter behind it, which I think is also like a solid idea. Hole 4 has been one that I've really like had in my mind for a long time that I want to spice it up a little bit. I think it's a fun hole. I like the idea of the triple Mando, but there's just so much space, and I think there's an opportunity there for more. I just don't know. I just haven't figured out what that more is yet. So I want to get out and play hole 4 to hole 6 a couple of times and kind of see, what holes would have to be adjusted around that. I know there's some space on that back, like right side that was totally unused. So um, if you played in this event, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I would say it would be like 85 to 90% the same layout that you saw here is what we're going to do over at Mountain View. So I really liked what Max did with like the water shots. I thought those like 2 water carries were like
Those were
really,
fun.
really, I thought they were really good holes. Even like I don't know, I thought both of them were like fair. Nobody really took like big numbers. Like I think the biggest number taken on both of those holes was like a 6 in the second round. So, and that was from all the divisions. So, if we
Yeah.
even have like MA3 guys and MA4 guys, topping out at taking a 6 on there, like I'll take that.
Good
I don't
hole.
feel yeah, I don't feel like that's too bad. And if you look at the scores for MPO, we had 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s all on hole 13, which is that first water carry hole. And if you have that much scoring separation with only 13 or 12 players in the field, imagine, what kind of separation you could have if you had, 30 players in the field and that kind of thing. Like you might, somebody might ring it up for an ace, and then you might have somebody else that takes a 6, and you might have everything in between. And I'm all about, I like having scoring separation on certain holes like that. And Caleb, like between the two of us, we were battling, and that hole was kind of a swing hole for us because you hit that big putt for the birdie, from the water's edge, and I hit I got my par, and you kind of took the lead from there, and then going forward, it was like okay, like match play, but that was a decisive shot that you had to play it scary, you had to play it close to the edge, it worked out in your favor, you hit the putt, and that kind of was the big swing. So.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I really liked it. Justin Banks with Fairway Media was out there this past weekend. That was really cool. I wasn't fully expecting him until maybe like I think like Thursday or Friday. He messaged me being like, "Yeah, I don't really have much going on," and it was like, "Okay, cool, come on,"
I
So
think he asked me like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I said, "Playing in North Bend."
nice. So you got him out there tight, dude.
I
Appreciate that.
guess so, maybe.
Heck yeah. Um, no, it's always cool having Banks out there. Like I've said in the past, we always appreciate him and that kind of thing. So. I'm going to get into the winners here real quick. As mentioned before, Mr. Caleb Joyner took down MPO. He beat me out by 1 stroke. I came in second, and John Albert came in third. I do want to give a special shout out to John Geiger. I think this was his first MPO tournament, so for him to get on lead card round 2 and get covered by Fairway Media in his first MPO tournament is really, really awesome of him. I think he's actually playing in Cascade Challenge like this coming weekend. So yeah,
Yep.
he's got a solid game. Like it's a game that's like kind of like no frills. He's just like hitting forehands. He's just throwing like smooth, like going backhands and that kind of thing. Like he's another guy where it's just like, hey, like he's only gonna get better because he's not the kind of game where he's throwing like crazy risky shots and he has to get lucky and that kind of thing. It's very stock. It's very golf style of disc golf, and yeah, I think he can do a lot and really go far. So, winning MA1 is Cameron Fung. He beat out Jordan Fisher, and Ben Krasnutsky. I don't even know if I was close on pronouncing that one right. Winning MA40 was Ryan McLaughlin. He beat out Joshua Mayo and Andrew Romberg. Winning MA50 was Clint Olson. Winning FA50 was Wendy Bates. Winning MA60 was Dave Collada. He beat out my guy Chuck Knudsen. Um, Tyler Downing beat out Sean Watson and Greg Knapp and Thom Hemingway for MA2. Those last 3 guys all tied for second. Christopher Holt won MA3, beating out Josh Proctor and Russell Palm. Amber Jenneret won FA3, and Andrew Herendine beat out Jack Eisen and Ethan Sutton to win MA4. And I met Chris Otto's kid, Henry Otto. So that was really cool. I really like Chris Otto too. He's a good guy. So it was cool getting to meet his kid. When his kid came up and he's like, "Oh, I'm his son." I'm like, "Oh, you got a lot to love up to, buddy." Sorry to tell you. So yeah, congratulations to all the winners, and big shout out to Luke Gent, Box Squad member Luke Gent, taking down the cherry pie eating contest. The cherry pie eating contest every year is a total blast. Ollie and I did it during the very first year before we were even like the show wasn't even like even in the realm of a possibility at the time. But there he and I were, borderline throwing up cherry pie, just face in kind of thing. So yeah, Caleb, you took part in the cherry pie eating contest this year. How was it, man? How'd you like it?
I'll let you win next time, Kirby. If the MPO winner has to do it, you can win next time.
It is really, really good pie. I got fortunate to bring home a bag of that whipped cream for my wife and I, so we've just been eating fresh berries and whipped
Oh,
cream
you
for
got the
dessert.
bag
And then
itself?
oh, though, dude, that is top tier whipped cream out of that bag, man. It's so good. Yeah.
I'm committing to
I
the
wouldn't
cherry
know
pie
it
eating
was all right
contest.
here.
Oh yeah, dude,
Your
you
beard,
were
I saw
so
that picture.
covered. Yeah, I'll send we can post it down here in the middle. I'll send it to Ollie to put
Yep.
into the show, but I took a selfie with you. You were so covered in cherry pie, dude. It was awesome. Yeah, Ollie, you said you're gonna commit to the cherry pie eating contest next year, yeah?
Yep. This is a formal. We're putting it in verbal commit to the cherry pie eating contest. This will be a year of training. Since this is my first time missing this event, I had to get. I'm coming and I'm coming strong next year. Just know. And we're gonna be doing
Good.
some training sessions. Maybe even we'll throw it on a stream. We'll do a We'll be doing some improvements, getting some times in. It'll be
Mhm.
good. It'll be good.
Yeah, he's gonna start with just chugging heavy cream, and then we're gonna bring it from there.
I also don't think I'm even supposed to be having I'm not the most lactose guy. Where this is just gonna be so great.
Just destroying your system day in and day out.
Hey,
Love it.
we got to do this. I got to win
I
this.
love it.
I think I was last place the first time we did it, and from looking at the pies when y'all started, it was about like double the amount of whipped cream. And all I remember was like, I'm gonna throw up. I can't breathe. I'm gonna make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, new goal, just don't throw up. And I'm
Yeah.
looking around, I forget, there was one kid there that did like pretty well, where I was like, how did he do this? I was like, so like, dude, I can't even like get I had just had whipped cream like down to here, like and then I'd open my mouth and just start coming out, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. I just have to keep it closed. It was so bad. But
Oh yeah.
I will not be like that next year. And yeah, it'll be good. Caleb,
Cool.
I'm expecting you to come back next year, and you gotta get revenge. Come on, me and you.
No.
It's just nah, I'm not doing it.
Well,
So much fun though, man. Every year it is a really really good time. And if you haven't, I mean, go to Tweeds, go to Tweeds Cafe, get yourself, yeah, right there, get yourself a cherry pie and a cup of coffee. It is super super good. The sandwiches there are banging. Yeah, and Max Spears owns it. Good member of the disc golf community, so yeah, cannot stress that enough how great it is to have him be part of that tournament with us and again, just thank him for all his help and that kind of thing. And he brings like coffee and stuff like that to the event and really just adds so much value to the event when we do it with him.
oh yeah.
So it's so great. um let's look ahead to the Cascade Challenge, and we're going to talk about just real quick some of the differences with the course. There's really not much, as we kind of mentioned earlier. um I was under the impression, and I did kind of see this in the past, that they were going to do hole one's tee pad to hole two's basket.
I
And
saw that. Yeah.
yeah, when I got there yesterday, they're not doing that now. They're just
It's
doing
just hole
regular.
two, this hole one.
Yeah, which I don't think I like as much. I think that hole one's tee pad to hole two's basket was a pretty challenging hole one through the woods, and you kind of got to blast through like the backside and that kind of thing. But
And we don't play 15 either. I think it
yeah,
is.
yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Interesting change. I don't know that change made the starting hole better or anything like that, right? Because you're just kind of throwing a hyzer out into the open, and
Yeah.
yeah, right. So, really, the biggest difference in the course is they just like added OB and hazard to a bunch of holes, and they just made a bunch of holes just tighter. Traditional hole three, which is now hole two for the Cascade Challenge. Just over that trench in the middle, they just added a massive spot of hazard where like you would usually land a typical distance shot would just kind of hyzer out into the hazard over there. So they just kind of put it to where you got to kind of pump it straight, or you got to throw. I mean, it's probably like a 480 carry just to get to the back inbounds over the hazard kind of thing. So I'm just going like CD1 up the right side. I'm gonna let it like flip up and just kind of like ride straight. I'm really not trying to bite off more than like 380, maybe like 420 off the tee there, and then I'll throw up to the mouth and then try to make something happen from there, kind of thing. It is a par five, so you don't have to bite off 600 feet off the tee every time, but it is an advantage to be able to bite off that much because it does make that second and third shot like so much easier. But I don't know. I think if you just chalk it up smartly, or you attack it smartly, like, it wouldn't be that bad. Um, they did add a couple of elevated baskets to a couple of holes that kind of needed it. Like, I think hole what is it, hole nine, regular hole nine, which is hole eight for the layout, is an elevated basket. It's just that like 330 really straight shot and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So little stuff like that, where it's just like, that's cool, additions like that. Caleb, you said you played the two new holes, right, the other day?
Yeah, I played the new holes and then the new pads.
What do you think about the new what is that par five?
I mean, I liked it, but I don't think certain types of people will like it.
Yeah, I don't know that it's gonna get perceived very well. I think it's a really sick hole, actually, and it's actually, if you play it smartly, it's pretty attackable. You just have to make sure your second shot. There's like one bushy tree that you need to make sure your second shot beats and curves around, and then you have an opening to get to the basket. But it's a hard. I mean, it is a damn hard par five.
The one thing I don't understand is because like it kind of goes right or whatever in the short pads up here.
Hmm.
You don't. I mean, I didn't see no Mando sign or OB or anything when I was there, but like you can throw it like over the bushes and don't have to go all the way around. If
Yeah,
that
I
makes
think so.
sense.
Yeah, I think that's actually what I did yesterday morning, is because I was kind of scrambling, but I scrambled like through the stuff, and I
Yeah.
went like, instead of going like around, yeah, I kind of just cut through, and I got to where like a really good second shot like should land. And that's what I was saying, like, if you just get over that bush, or like it's so hard to say when you're not, it's 1,000 foot par five in the
Yeah,
middle of the woods, and there's one tree that you got to get over and around. But like, it really is like once you get over that tree, there is like a solid tunnel, for you to throw like a nice like hyzer flip, and just let something bust through, and then you can take your circle two or whatever, you kind of get down there kind of deal. So I thought the new holes were really, really good.
I
The
think the
par
next one's
four.
pretty thick.
Yeah, I think it plays super well because you can go if you have the booming forehand, you can get it down there and you can, curl the corner. And if you don't, and you just want to throw a backhand to the corner and play a
Yeah,
position shot. Yeah, like it's there, and I think I really, really like it. Both of those holes, well, at least that second one, I don't necessarily think it rewards big distance so much as it rewards just being able to throw a good shot, which is what I really like. Yeah. So, um, no, I was really, really happy with the layout yesterday. I feel like I flew through it too. Like I feel like I played really, really fast. It might have only taken me like 2.5 hours, and I played the last like four holes with Colin Bryant because I just kind of ran into him and Aaron at the end there. So I like that so much more. I mean, Champions Cup, like even a practice round myself was taking like over 3 hours. It was just a long. Like I played with Daniel Pfaff, I played with Connor Rock, and I played with Christopher Robin, who's another like California like kind of local pro tour kind of player kind of thing, and it took us like 4 hours to play a practice round down there because walking in between holes, some of them was like, a 5 minute walk from this hole to that hole kind of thing, which is just like, so yeah, to come here and being like, oh man, like I'm just flying through this course, like this is so nice, felt really, really good. Um, the other thing I want to talk about, and Caleb, you messaged me about this yesterday, so I'm kind of curious to hear your opinion on this as well, is the term like real pro. Um, I don't know, man. I see like, a lot of Facebook posts and that kind of stuff and Instagram posts, and people are like, "Oh, when the real pros come to town." It's like, "Hey, like stop disrespecting like the local guys." Like there's guys like Caleb, there's guys like myself, there's guys like Kenny and Krabs, that are working their tail off and that are ballers, dude. We have some really great talent here in the area, and so it almost feels like we're discrediting, these great players by being like, "Well, the real pros." Did we lose Caleb? Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
Um, yeah, so it's just I've never really loved the term like real pro. Like you can like touring pro is a different conversation completely.
Yeah.
Local pro, touring pro, sure, but we're all real pros. Like that's you can't. It's just it feels like you're discrediting some of the ballers that we have locally here. Um, Caleb, I mean, do you have like am
I
I
mean,
am I off here? Like
I
what do you?
only I just hear it like from buddies who are joking around or whatever, trying to I don't know poke the bear or whatnot. Like, oh,
Sure.
like one Andy, my buddy, was like, "Oh, I've beaten a pro or whatever," and his friend was like, "Caleb doesn't count. He's not a real pro." And I went, "Wow, okay." But I mean, I'm doing the same thing the real pros are doing, just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, 100%. I would never question the fact that like you're a real pro. Like, of course you are. Are you a real like local pro? Yes. Are you a touring pro? No. Those are different conversations though. I'm not a touring pro. I'm a local pro who likes to jump on and play a few tour events, but I would never call myself I'm not a touring player or anything like that, right? Like um yeah, it's just something I've heard it for years around here, and it's just something I've never like truly loved. And the other thing I will say is that if you're watching this and you're coming out to Cascade Challenge, ask your favorite local pro for his autograph. Like that feels so cool. Like I don't sign very many discs, but anytime somebody asks me to sign one, I'm like, really? Like you want me to? Like it feels really cool. And like your favorite local pro or your local buddy or your, the local guy that you see on Fairway Media every week and, you see it like shredding your local course. Like he's out there competing against some of the best in the world. That means he's one of the best in the world. Like show him some respect, and him signing your disc might not mean anything to you, but to him, that's a really cool moment. The first time somebody asked me to sign their disc, like I remember that kid and he asked me to sign his hydrogen. And I remember talking with Connor O'Reilly being like, dude, nobody's here wanting me to sign their disc. And he walks up and goes, can you? And I was like, oh man, like this I was like, really? Like it feels really cool. So If you are watching this and you're going to be out at Cascade, like find your favorite local guy, get him to sign your disc. Like what is it's support the local guys just as much as you're supporting the touring guys as well, right? So that's my little rant about that. I don't know.
I'm with it.
Justice for the local pro.
I'm with it.
Actually, real quick before we get into the NHL check-in, I want to just give a quick shout out to Matthew Bloom Edmonds, Ryan Pitchford, and Eric Sebastian. The three of them got into Cascade Challenge via the Monday qualifying event yesterday. So congratulations to them. I think that's pretty cool. And just wanted to give a quick shout out to that local local guys getting in. Ryan Pitchford, Eric Sebastian, Matthew Bloom Edmonds. Does Matthew live around here, or is he just like visiting for like?
I think he
He
does.
was like a Navy guy or something.
That's what.
Coast
Yeah, he's
Guard?
just staying here for a few years. Kind of. Is that the kind of idea? Yeah, I wasn't too sure. All right, we're gonna get right into the NHL check-in. This is a couple guys talking about hockey. We don't know much about hockey. Caleb, are you an NHL fan at all?
Not really, but I guess I like the Kraken. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, hey, why not? It is a fun time, man. It is a good time to go to a game. It is a lot of fun, but I totally get not being tuned into it. Ollie, both of our teams are kind of blowing it, dude.
They're on the edge of getting sent to Cancun, going on vacation. Season's over. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It was a really good first round. We looked great. You know, it was a great season, but it's not over yet. The Hurricane just looked really good. It's just kind of been like some like a 2-5 game 4. So it just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, definitely not feeling that great on the NHL, but it is a good time for that, I guess, because the MLB's getting back into swing. It's going to be a lot to talk about there and different things with that, but hockey's been fun, and if this is the last week of the NHL check-in, it's been a good time learning and kind of following hockey some more, and I think it'll just only grow from that, but yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling the same way about the Golden Knights here. It's just if we're winning the game, we're like the one game we won, it was really close, and then the other games have not necessarily been that close. Like we lost like 3-0 last night, so
Did you see there was a Golden Knights player who was, I think he got either sent to the bench or sent to like I don't know, whatever, like, you know, he got sent out and he threw his stick or like smashed his stick down, but as he was going to smash it, he hit one of the trainers in the head and he was like bleeding and shit. It was crazy. But
No,
I was like, damn, that's kind of karma. You can't be lashing out on the trainers, man. Come on.
yo, that's crazy.
But yeah,
No,
the
I
trainer
didn't
was
see
fine.
that.
The trainer's just standing there like this. He had like a bloody patch in his hair right there, and he's just like fine though. I was like, damn, he's a badass. Like I was like, damn.
That's wow.
Yeah, you should look that up after
I
this.
will. That's wild, dude. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going on with the NHL check-in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if one of our team rallies. Doubtful.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
do.
if one of our teams rally, the NHL check-in will live. I will.
Yeah.
I'll die by that. Come on. If any of our teams have a 3-1 comeback, that'd be sweet.
That would be pretty tight. I would definitely rally.
Yeah,
and
I think we're
I don't
getting the
know.
troops back. And I think
It'd be-
if once one of our teams out, we'll just go to the other person's team. Like I'll become a
There it
knight,
is.
or you'll become a capital.
Done, easy. All right, let's get right into the draft this week. This week, we, with Caleb, will be drafting pizza toppings. We're drafting pizza toppings because before the show, Caleb knows more pizza toppings than he does MLB jerseys. So, bam, nailed it. Caleb, go ahead and take the number 1 overall pick for the pizza topping draft.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, that's
Pepperoni.
easy. That's easy.
Kind of basic bitch, but all right, it's fine.
Hey, you give me the 1-on-1, I'm taking Pep.
For the number 2 pick in the pizza draft, I'm gonna go with barbecue chicken. Barbecue
chicken?
Hell yeah, dude. But I don't want like pizza sauce on that pizza. Like I want barbecue sauce under the cheese, and then I want like chicken on top, like a barbecue
Oh.
chicken pizza.
Oh. Heard.
So I
Heard.
don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ollie, what you got for the 3-4?
It's kind of a surprise. Rose up the draft boards at the last second to go number 2 overall. Barbecue chicken. Kind of had him lower
Oh,
down as a 3rd round, 4th round pick, but you know,
oh.
I guess I see it when you want your guys available. You go get them. We're gonna go get our guy. We're getting Copa. Thin sliced ham.
Okay.
Woo!
Wow, he went fancy on us.
We got our guy. We're happy with it. Copa's coming
Sure.
home.
I get that.
And you know what we're gonna pair him with? We're gonna pair him with a great buddy, jalapeno. Woo!
Oh, all right. Are we talking fresh or those pickled ones?
Fresh. Oh, fresh probably, but I do like the pickled ones. But I'll probably go fresh.
Pickled ones are fine on pizza and shit like that.
Yeah, I'll
kinda
probably
like the pickled ones
I
on-
like cutting, but when I make it, I'll do fresh ones. So I'll say
Okay.
fresh. Yeah.
Sure. Solid. Honestly, solid couple of picks. I didn't expect either of those out of you, to be totally fair. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that, right? So
I worked at a pizza place.
yeah.
I got game.
No free ads. Generic pizza place.
Generic pizza place. Hell no, you ain't getting shit.
That's so awesome. All right, so for my number, my number 2 pick and the number 5 overall pick in the draft, you know what, man? I like what I like. I'm gonna go with buffalo chicken pizza. Yeah, and this is the same thing. I want the Frank's Red Hot as the base, no marinara, and then I want chicken on top and get the fuck out of here. No blue cheese either. Fuck that. It's
Crave
gross.
2 chickens. That's all you got, chicken.
Dude, I'm fucking chickened up over here, man.
Hey, it's gain season. Gain season.
Caleb, you got the wraparound here. You got number 6 and number 7.
Bacon.
Oh,
Sure.
that's an underdog
yeah.
for the meats.
Yeah, it is. It's totally underrated on pizza.
Jokes on y'all. All these are gonna be meat. Also sausage.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, sausage is the good one.
Those are great picks.
Yeah. Got yourself a little like you're just deconstructing the meat lovers over there.
Jokes on y'all. I can see the box in my kitchen from here.
All right, so for the number 8 pick, pesto chicken pizza. That's right.
Fuck out of here. Yeah. No comments. Now I'm trying to think with your last pick. Could I snipe a chicken from you?
Oh, you got number 9 and number 10. What you got, bud?
Chicken tikka masala. The funny thing is, chicken tikka masala pizza is so good, but I'm not doing that.
I can see that. I can see that being great.
I have
haven't
had
it, though.
so many of them, and they're so good. But I'm gonna go with. I gotta switch it up. We're gonna go with another banger. A banger. Gorgonzola.
Okay.
I like to put my gorgonzola and cook it actually in my pepperoni. Like when I'd make it, I'd put some blue cheese in the pepperoni cups, put that in there, and the way it cooks with like the cup, like the way,
yeah.
it's like a little cup of blue cheese and pepperoni. It's awesome. I'm a big fan. I'm not even a blue cheese fan, but if you put it on a pizza, I'm a fan.
I don't know.
Ugh.
I've had like gorgonzola and like pear pizzas, and
That's
I gotta
really
say,
good.
like,
It's really. I like that.
See, I'm not a huge fan myself.
Did you
Yeah, with
say
like the
pear?
basil and pear.
Pear,
like
you
the
get some
fruit.
onions and some gorgonzola. It's really, I think it's
Yeah.
pretty good. I
Balsamic
also
and, like,
would sell
arugula.
like a lot of them. Like people would come in just for that pizza alone.
Yeah, that one never did it for me. It was always a pizza I've seen on menus, and it's always been fine.
I
but, like,
I don't think I ever ordered it. I'm not
it's
gonna be
not for
real.
me.
I mean, I just
Yeah.
have what I like and I eat it. But if it's popular, I understand. Like it definitely has its niche. Then people do like it. And I do like it with pepperoni. I think it's really good. Or like, and it's only in moderation, and it's only cooked too. I really like it. I don't know. There's certain things with the classifications. And then my last pick, we're going to round out with. I think I'm going to be kind of controversial here. We're just going to take the pineapple.
Wow.
We're going to take the pineapple.
I'm not surprised you picked that. I feel like that's really up your alley.
It's
And not in
fresh.
like a negative, not in like a
Don't take offense to it. I
shot.
don't
Yeah,
take
like,
offense to it.
like that seems like
No,
after everything else we've drafted, that makes all the sense in the
like
world.
jalapeno, pineapple, and pepperoni is really, really, really good.
Why don't you just throw some Copa on there instead?
Well, that's what I'm gonna have to do with
Or
my
you just
draft.
drafted, yeah, the perfect.
Well, I didn't have my
Yeah.
pep. I didn't have my 101.
Yeah. All right, so for the number 11th pick in the draft here, my last one, I'm picking chicken meatball. No, just meatball pizza. Yeah.
Chicken jockey.
Yeah. I'm going with just straight up meatballs. Meatballs are dope. If I could combo that with something, which I'm not going to because that was not part of the rules, but meatballs and banana peppers on
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
great.
a red sauce and
Oh
cheese.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So good.
Pepperoncinis. Ooh.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
So-
that's an underrated honorable mention.
Totally. All right, Caleb, what you got for number 12 and the last pick of the draft?
I like fried chicken on my pizza.
Fried chicken on a
Fried?
pizza?
Fried
Yep.
chicken?
I found it out in Boardman, Oregon.
Is it
That
like
they
chicken
gave
breast?
us- I ordered a chicken bacon ranch pizza, thinking like
And
it
it
was
was
gonna be
fried?
regular, and it came with
Oh, and they just use chicken
fried
tenders.
nuggets. Yeah,
Yeah, did they cut them up or was it just like whole chicken tenders on there?
cut up barely.
So just big ass chunks.
Yeah,
I mean, I've worked in restaurants in the past, and like when you just run out of like cooked chicken, and someone orders a chicken bacon ranch pizza, and you're like, "Fuck it, dude, throw a tender on there because that's what I have for chicken right now." Like, I kind of get it, but also like I could see where that would be really good because the breading, kind of adds a little flavor, a little. Yeah, all right, not bad,
it
man. I almost
was
feel like I need
that's
to-
like
Yeah.
that's a game changer, man.
Yeah.
This was maybe one of the most got me hungry kind of episodes. I'm drafts. I'm ready to go.
I was gonna
Stop.
get a pizza and practice putt.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, if
alright.
you want to know what I'm doing for the rest of the day, basically
That's
having
it.
copa, pineapple, and jalapeno.
Yeah, so to go through them real quick, Caleb picked pepperoni, bacon, sausage, and fried chicken. I picked barbecue chicken, buffalo chicken, pesto chicken, and meatballs. Ollie picked copa, jalapeno, gorgonzola, and pineapple. I'm sorry to say, guys, but y'all got fucking played in that one, man. I really stole the show.
You have the most. That's the most me draft. In the nicest way possible. That was the most me draft.
No, totally. That's the only one that I feel like I probably should have picked that I didn't, and this is another one that might be kind of I don't know, maybe not
Teriyaki
super
chicken?
popular. No, potato. Like red potato.
Potato
on
pesto.
pizza.
Potato pesto is awesome.
Or
Garlic.
like potato
garlic's
bacon.
garlic's an underrated one.
Yeah, like whole roasted garlic.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
My dad likes green olives. Fucking gross, dude.
Green olives. That sounds pretty good on it.
Nah.
Or no, green olives. Oh no, never
Yeah.
mind. Never mind.
That's like my dad's thing.
I thought you
I don't
said
know.
green onions, and I was like, that sounds fine.
Nah, green onion's fire. Yeah.
Yeah, episode 57. Thank you so much, Caleb, for the putting tips and for coming on. Congratulations on the hot streak and getting some big wins. It's always nice to see a ECD teammate up there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's the first returning guest on the KO Disc Golf Show. That's a pretty fun and cool
That's
title.
right.
And we're hoping to have you on a bunch more, so that's always fun. Outro and the quote. There may be people that have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone to work harder than you. Derek Jeter, aim high, shoot low. We'll see you next week. Peace!